Strange thing, I don't see the red mark. Okay, now I see. Okay, hopefully it's successful this time. Oh, another section was on. Interesting. Okay, so sometimes it can be confusing. Anyway, so let's not for too long. So let's start this one. A little bit disappointed. Okay. As you can see, there are two correct answers. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, a few of you didn't get it right. Okay, but don't worry, there are three more questions. Three more questions.嗱，唔好就咁算數喎，留意呢條題目，睇清楚條題目，因等陣會再出現嘅，以另一個形式啊，同大家再見面，留意咯喎，即係呢條衰咗唔緊要啊，仲有下次機會。俾大家翻身嘅嚇 ，OK， 翻盤。Let's look at the podium。哇，犀利啊 ！OK，second one， 俾大家翻盤啊！頭先如果錯咗咧，呢條啱嘅機會會大啲嘅。好啲，好啲，因為頭先有6個錯嘅答案，你有冇記得？唔知超過6個錯嘅答案。今次咧好似少啲，不過都唔係爭太遠啊。Okay, like I said before, these two questions are related. So for the first one, okay, we have what? First one, the traits. In the first question, the traits are called what? Are called the features, okay, and independent variable. 即係頭先嗰條咧就係得紅色同紫色係啱嘅啫。咁呢條重複問一次啊嘛，咁所以就唔好揀呢兩個咯，係咪？即係呢兩個就唔好揀啦，咁啊剩翻就係4揀3啦，係咪？你揀一個唔係就得咯，係咪啊 ？Now the test will be similar. Okay, the test will be using a similar format. Okay, just to remind you. Okay, so let's look at the podium at the scoreboard now. Okay, Ian is still coming out on top. Okay, followed by Sam and Anthony. Another Sam cannot be seen right now. Let's continue. This is basically English. It's just quite good. Label and coding. So it's just English, right? From the previous question, we know the target is also called the label. Now we want to replace strings by numbers, so it's label encoding. Okay. We will talk about train test split and normalization. Actually, we talk about all the other four tonight. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here's the scoreboard again. Yin is still on top. So Yin and Sam and Anthony 有團火喺度喎，有團火喺度喎。Anthony has the highest answer streak of 3啊，即係總分咧就Yin係最 top，但係呢個可能就都連續啱得最多啊。OK， 唔知點解佢嘅計分方法係咁，可能慢啊，因為佢呢個分係點嚟嘅咧？就睇佢有幾快，即係兩個人同時間答啱咗咧，就快嗰個會高分啲啊。咁可能大家都答啱，但係咧呢個就 Anthony 可能慢咗少少。Answer streak 就即係連續啊嘛，係連續啱啊。OK， 最後一條啦。呢一科嘅名啦 ，Machine Learning for Data Mining。都唔錯 ，OK， quite good，quite good，OK， data mining is the goal，OK， we want to mine the data, we want to get some knowledge or a pattern，OK， but the tool is machine learning. Okay, very good. Let's look at the podium. So second runner-up is Anthony， 即係頭先有團火嗰個啦。First runner-up is a unicorn, is Sam. The first one must be Yin. With some hot cake on his head. Okay, so we'll let them stay here for a while, okay, while we return to our course. Now let's take a quick look at last week. Okay, last week, of course, we cannot redo everything. We are only going to look at some important slides, okay? So let's start with slide number 7, okay? Slide number 7. All the others are obvious. So that's the difference between traditional programming and machine learning. Now, in traditional programming, you may have to write a lot of if then else, right? If age is bigger than 40 and gender is female, then we safe means that it's very safe to give this driver the insurance. Else meaning that if the age is less than 40 or whatever age, if the driver is a male, it is risky. Now, this is not real computer language. This is just what we call pseudocode, 即係假嘅曲啊 ，pseudocode 即係假嘢嚇。But you see the point, right? You have to write something. Now, with this kind of programming, it will always output the same results. Okay, if someone comes at age 39 as a female driver, it's always safe. Okay, if someone comes in at whatever age, like at 21, is a male, it's always risky. No change, right? But with machine learning, we do things the other way around. Okay, we look at the historical data. We look at a big table of drivers, okay, who are of a certain age, of a certain gender, and maybe other factors. And then eventually, did they claim insurance? Did they claim insurance? Okay, so we have some 21 male driver who did claim the insurance. Some 51 female did not. 18 female did not, and so on. So we look at all this data and say, well, we look at data and we look at the output. The output is here. Okay, so we feed the features into as our data. 頭先記唔記得啊？頭先我哋做嗰個 Kahoot 咧，嗰啲 trace 特質就係嗰個 features 啊嘛，咁呢紮咪 features 咯，呢紮就係 features 得唔得？呢紮就係 features 擺落去，跟住就呢紮人咧個 output 咧就邊啲係最終係幾年之後 came insurance 嘅就係個 label 得唔得？呢紮就係我哋嘅 features。OK， 呢紮就我哋嘅 label 係啦，得唔得？咁咪machine咪學咯，學啊睇完之後，OK， 咁有啲 rules 出咗嚟嘅咯喎。嗱，嗰啲 rules 係乜嘢咧 ？We may not know the exact rules. Okay, sometimes we know, sometimes we don't know, but it can give us a model. Actually, we kind of know the rules. Why? Because there are many rules. There are many kind of models to choose from. There are different kinds of models. Okay, the one we learned last time is called KNN. KNN, and there are other models. So if you decide to use KNN, then you somehow know that the rules are looking at the nearest neighbors. For example, if a male driver comes in, then we look at the male drivers. Okay, look at all the male drivers and see who is also a male driver and who is of a similar age. Then look at the history. Okay, is this are the male driver of this age, are they risky? And then we say that are they risky or not? Okay. Now the thing is, with the traditional programming approach, you can say with certainty, with this income, you are going to say with 100% certainty what the output will be. Because you write the program, right? You write the logic, 100% sure. But with machine learning, it changes with time. It changes with time. Okay, maybe over time, the male drivers become more and more careful. And then you ask the machine to learn again, the rules will change automatically. Okay? Or you may decide, hey, KNN is not a good model. You may want to use another model. Okay, then maybe SVM or random forest or naive, there are other models. Okay, so the good news to you is that if you're a computer programmer, if you write the code above, your job is done. So thank you for your service. Okay, contract finished. Bye-bye. Okay, but if you're a data scientist below, then your job is quite safe. Okay, because someone has to understand what is going on behind and to choose the right model. Now, even if you choose the right model, the job is not done. There are some parameters for the same model. What is the parameter for KNN? What's the parameter for KNN? The K. How many neighbors we look at? Now, if you were not here last time, you may not know what I'm talking about, but very soon you will be. So let's quickly go through. Okay, this is just a quick overview. Last time I used this example. So some people, they opt for basic service. Okay, some people, they like to queue in the line. They don't mind waiting. Maybe they interact with the other queuers. Okay, they talk to this beautiful lady here. Okay, they may enjoy this and they're happy. They don't have the money to pay for this kind of service. Here, they can also talk, but it's very expensive, right? Very expensive. Okay. So what problems are we going to solve? We try to find out the most cost-effective way of service to provide to new customers. If we give them the cheap service, they may hate us and they may leave. Okay. If we give them the expensive service, we may lose money and they may leave anyway. Okay, because they may prefer this. Okay, for some reason. Okay, I know people who prefer to write checks, who don't do auto pay, although he knows he can. He prefers to write checks and then take the check to the cash, deposit cash in the bank, in the checking account, because he has just too much time. Okay, he doesn't like auto pay, doesn't like everything on the internet. He wants to interact. Okay, so cut this short. Okay, so this is a classification problem. So when now let me give you a diagram to explain it better. Now these are all our existing customers. How many do we have? We have 4 kinds of services. There are 4 kinds of services. These are services. These are customer categories. Now, these are all stable customers. They're happy. All these are happy customers, okay? Okay, you may want to do this on your notes as well. All these are happy customers. They have not left. Okay, they are happy, no complaints. Very good. And these are our features. Remember, our features. And then this is the label. Okay, 4 kinds of services. I will not go into details. It's just that 1 is the simplest, 4 is the most expensive. Okay, and these are our observations. We have 8 observations, starting from 0, ending at 7. So 8 observations. Now that we have a new customer coming in, this one, what will be the service we should provide to this customer? The last time we said that, now the easy business answer is give them a trial period of 1 year, right? But you know it's expensive, okay, to the bank, okay, and the customer may not use it at all, okay. I don't know about you, but have you tried HSBC's phone banking? Now they ask you to identify yourself. Previously, you had to type in some numbers, and then they ask a fingerprint. Now they do a voice recognition. 有啲想你幫下手. What if that day my voice was not clear, right? My voice was coarse and I have some problem. Where's my voice? I have this disturbance. Okay, then it cannot recognize you. Okay, then people are going to hate that. Okay, so now same data again. Just to explain, I explained to you once already. Well, let me quickly go through it again. Let's simplify KNN by looking at only 2 traits, 2 characteristics. Okay, we look at 2 so that we can plot it on a diagram, easier for you to see. But the principle can apply to all these traits. We can apply to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As long as you can put it in numbers, you can apply to any number. Okay, but 2 is easier to see. So for age, we plot it here. Okay, for income, we plot it here. Okay, so age 44, roughly around here. Income 64 around here. So we have a point, you may say it is this point, okay? About this point, you may say, okay? So, of course, I cheated a little bit. This diagram has way more than 8 points. I cheated a little bit. So this is the new customer. He comes in. We know that 54 years of age, this is his income. So 54 around here, 166 around here. So this will be our new customer here. Okay, so what service should we give to this customer? And by the principle, KNN, you just look around. Look at this, he's here, right? 54, 164. Okay, look at his neighbors or her neighbors and say, hey, there are more yellow dots than other dots. 3 yellow dots, only 2 are blue dots. Okay, we say yellow. Yellow means plus service. Okay, now what is the problem with this logic? How do you decide on the K? How decide on the K? Should I choose 5 in this case? What is the number K? Just a quick question to do the roll call. Okay, just to do the roll call. Chen Zhang. Okay, so what is the K in this case? How many neighbors do we look at? 5, very good, 5. But why don't we choose 1? If you choose 1, what will be the answer? If you choose 1, what will be the answer? Chen Jinjun. Okay, no problem. Let's go. Chen Jialong. Yes. If you choose 1, what will be the answer? shortest distance, right? This one. Then it's not per surface anymore. It will be this color. Okay, whatever the color is stands for the total surface. So you are moving the target, right? 搬緊龍門啦，一就呢個咯，三就呢個咯。咁幾多個先至好咧 ？Okay, so even if you use machine learning, there are some parameters you have to adjust. So how do you choose this parameter? The answer is train tests. You try to evaluate the model using training and testing data. You test, okay, now because all these are known data, so you say to yourself, hey, what if I choose only the nearest neighbor and see how many I got right and how many I got wrong? So that's the concept of training and testing. Okay. Now then we have to solve the first problem. Okay, what do we mean by distance? What do we mean by nearest neighbor? Well, last time we looked at only 2 customers first. So instead of looking at n, let's look at 2 customers. So age is x11, income is x12, education is x13. Okay, likewise, this, so h11 is 54, h12 190, x13 is 3, and so on, right? This is x21, x22, x23. And we say the distance between x1 and x2 is the summation of all this. This looks complicated, but actually it's very easy, right? This is x11 minus x21 squared. x12 minus x22. x12 minus x22, 190, 200, okay? x13 minus x33, okay? So now this is basic statistics. You can go home and try to figure it out. And the answer is 1180, 11.87. Okay, if you have a third customer, now manually computation is slow, but the computer can do very quickly. The computer has no problem to go through all these points. And just give me a number, okay, how many neighbors do you want? And then it can calculate all the distances for you, okay? Now, I said, how do we choose the K? Well, it depends on how good the model is. Then how do we know the model is good? Well, we use training and testing data. So again, we calculate distance as above. Okay, based on this concept, we calculate distance. And then we divide our data into what? Into training data. Okay, and then we use some to test our data. Tonight, you are going to do an actual machine learning. You will be doing the train test speed, and then you will know what I mean later. Okay, so if you don't entirely understand this now, it is okay. So we can train and then test our model. Okay, the testing data is also called validation data. And then you can write a small Python program, and then you can plot a graph. Basically, this graph tells you the error or the accuracy. So when the accuracy is the highest, then this is the K you should use. Okay. Okay, now this is what we covered last time. Okay, so machine learning will help you determine the best value for K, optimal value for K. And there are many ways to do it. Last time when you were here, do you remember what software you used? 食得嘅嗰樣嘢 Orange. Okay, last time you were here, you used Orange, right? And this time you can use Python. Okay, Python in Jupyter Notebook for analysis and presentation. Last time you also tried a little bit of Python, I believe. You also tried. Okay. So just to refresh your memory, let's view a little video. This time it is not another person's, is the video that on our blackboard. Okay, just to show you the process. Now there's some useful videos at the end. Let me go to student view. Yes, okay, so now let's watch number 2. Let's watch number 2, okay. I'll tell you why we don't watch number 1 in a minute.
And here we are going to actually do the training. So from scikit-learn neighbors import KNN, K neighbors classifier. Okay, I'll explain the details later, but basically I'm going to import another class from a library, and then from that class I create a new object called my model. You can call it any name you want, and when I create this object, I specify that I want the K in KNN, I want it to be 4. Okay, and this means that I'm now training my model with the training data from above. X train here and Y train from here. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look at the model by stating its name. Okay, or you can instead use the print function here. So let's do that. Now you can see that there's an error. And let's try to fix the error. It says that cannot convert string to float Germany. That's because we have in the features, we have a feature which is not a number, which is a string. So we need to fix that. How do we fix that? Well, in this case, we are going to fix it manually. So let's do that. And for all France, we are going to call it 1. It's not doing it. Why? Okay, I should click replace all. Okay, so let's change all Spain to 2. And it's done. And let's change all Germany to 3. And it's done. And now it's okay. So let me save this file. So it's going to save as CSV format. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Now it has been saved. So now that this file has been changed, so we have to go up there and load it again. And let's take a look. As you can see, the country is now represented by numbers. Then we run this cell again. Take a look at the feature matrix. Take a look.
Now, do you notice one difference between the cell number 15 and the output on 17? Pay attention. Here, okay, when you say dataset.head, what is dataset? Dataset is the variable we gave to the thing when we load the spreadsheet. You see, we have an index here, right? 0 to 9, 10 records. And then we have some headers, country, age, very nice. But then afterwards, when we say X equals to dataset.iloc from 10 up to 11, but not including the 11th row, from 0 to 3, but not including the third column, we only want the values. And we put all these values into the variable X. Okay, so if you remember, in the slides, we use the name X for features matrix. So just to show you, you what I mean, you can go back to slide number 10. See, income in the program we call big X, which is a feature matrix. 得唔得啊？即係話咧，你喺嗰個你睇幅圖咧就好清楚嘅，你見到自己咧就係好清楚啊，有晒啲 label 啊，成嗰陣時我哋睇緊個 pandas data frame， 但係當你一塞咗佢落去一個 numpy array 嗰度咧，就你淨係見到呢度嘅啫，你就見到下邊呢扎，就冇咗上邊嗰啲 header 嘅喎。咁你要估下啦，其實0咧就係 region 啦，即係 column 0嘅 region，column 1就係 age 啊，咁咪好痛苦啊，係咪啊？係好痛苦嚇。不過通常臨尾先咁做嘅，真係臨尾先咁做嚇。開頭你仲可以保留住個 header， 好似呢個 video 咁樣，開頭仲開開心心睇住呢啲嘢嚇，直至你行呢句為止。
And load it again, and let's take a look. As you can see, the country is now represented by numbers. Then we run this cell again. Take a look at the feature matrix. Take a look at the target vector. Still yes or no, that's okay. Do the train test split. Okay, and then we still have a problem. Okay, previously we had a problem. Okay, that's because some of the variables has not been properly reset. So the best thing to do is to go to kernel, do restart, clear output. Okay, restart and clear all outputs. Make sure that all variables are reset. So let's run these cells one by one, and it should be okay. You can just keep on hitting the run button. Now the train test split. That the training is now complete. No problem. Okay, and after the training, you can actually do the prediction. Okay, now when we do the prediction, we are going to predict on the test set. Okay, so let's run it, and after we run it, we are going to take a look at what's inside in the predicted array. So let's run this first, and then you see there's some kind of warning. Okay, and it's okay because this is only a word warning. Okay, it will still run, and then we have y-hat. The result is in the y-hat array. So let's print the y-hat array and see what's inside. Is no yes. As you can see, the test dataset has only 2 rows, right? And this is the predicted, the y-hat. Now let's take a look at the actual values of this test set. Okay, so let's print. What should we print? We should print the y-test. Okay, the y-test. This is what we are trying to predict. Okay, let's take a look. And it is no, which means that this prediction is correct and this prediction is incorrect. And this is a very simple machine learning using KNN. Thank you.
Okay, now at this time, maybe we should stop watching slides and videos. Why don't we do a little bit of machine learning ourselves? Okay, so let's start from Anaconda. Now the instructions are from 01, from 01. Okay, this one, data preprocess Jupyter notebook.docx. So you can follow me on screen, or you can open this file. Well, actually, it's better to download this file. I have downloaded once already. You can download this file once, and then you open it. I highly encourage you to do this. So you open the file. put it on one side, and then start your Anaconda and Jupyter Notebook and put it on the other side. Okay, so how do you start Anaconda? Just press the Windows button. There are instructions here. Okay, press the Windows key and then enter Anaconda. Press the Windows key on the keyboard and then enter Anaconda. Okay, Python is a snake. Anaconda is a bigger snake. Okay, so Anaconda includes Python and other things. 有一套叫狂妄之災啊，狂妄之災個英文名就叫做 Anaconda。Okay. So let's start Anaconda. Now you may notice that when you type in Anaconda, on some machines it may give you Jupyter Notebook as well. But in this case, let's just start the navigator. Let's start the navigator. Okay. Okay, 得唔得 ？Anaconda start 咗，咁呢個佢話有個 there's a new version. You can just say no, don't show again. Okay, because even if you update it, next time you come in, it will still be the old version. So don't bother updating it. Now, when you're here, launch Jupyter like this one. Okay, launch Jupyter Notebook. And then you can choose your favorite browser. You can use any browser to run the notebook. Okay, just like an HTML. You can open it with Edge, Chrome, or Firefox. I'm going to choose Edge. It's up to you. It's up to you. Now that the Jupyter Notebook is started, it's running at a port. Is port 8,888. Okay, but you don't have to know the port number. You don't have to. That's just for your information. And then let's click New. Now, if you want to save your work later, it's better to change the directory right now. So let's change directory to Downloads. Let's click Downloads. And now we are in the download directory. Okay, it's easier to find out the notebook you create tonight, and then you may want to bring it back home. Okay, if you stay up here, then you will have trouble looking for it. So I will encourage you to go to downloads. Then click New. Now these are the instructions from the Word file. Okay, the Word file, step number 3. Okay, click New and then Python 3。記住同事，如果有啲人俾個 Python 2俾你咧，係會有 error， 佢哋唔係 backward compatible 嘅，記住 Python 2、Python 3有啲嘢係好唔同嘅嚇。Okay, anyway, so let's try to do this new Python 3. Okay, I'm putting them side by side. And then let's type in these statements. Okay. Import. Now you may ask, what are these? I'm going to explain it in the lecture later. Okay. The second line, you probably don't need the second line, so forget it. Just pandas. Just pandas as PD. Okay. Or just for the sake of discussion, I will use AA and BB. just to show you that these are just names, okay, shorthands. You can use whatever names you want. And then click run. So for a short while, it was an asterisk. It was a star, and now it's a number. Whenever you see a number, it means that the cell completed execution and it's happy. Very good. So it says previously there are no number. Now there's a number 1. Very good. Now, you may want to look at the current directory now. So you can type in CD with or without the exclamation mark. We are now here. Okay. If you want, you can change your directory. If you want, you can change your directory to downloads, okay, or D. Maybe it's easier to change it to D. Yeah, now I'm in the D drive. So everything I do, the files that I read will be from the D drive. Okay, maybe it's easier that way. Okay, even without the exclamation mark. Okay, now press Shift Enter 2 times to create 2 new cells. It's up to you. If you want to create a new cell, you can follow the instructions and press Shift Enter. You can create new cells this way, or you can insert cells above or below. It's up to you. Okay, there are many different ways to do it. Now there are tons of keyboard shortcuts. Okay, you can find the shortcuts from Help. Keyboard shortcuts. This one. This is the information, and this is to change the shortcuts. So let's look at the shortcuts. Wow, there's a lot of shortcuts. Okay, you can find out those later. If you don't know the shortcuts, it's still okay. You just follow these menus. You still do the job. No worries. Okay, so now we are going to try to load a data set. We're trying to load a data set. So let's do it. I'm going to say ds equals, like it says PD read CSV. I'm going to say, because I use a BB as PD, right? So I have to type in BB dot read underscore CSV, and then the name of the data file dot CSV. Now, before we do other things, let's run it. Let's run it. And I got an error. It sounds horrible, right? There are a lot of things, but look at at the beginning, it says file not found, error. Okay. At the bottom, it says no such file or directory, data CSV. 睇落好似好恐怖啊，其實好簡單，佢揾唔到個 file 啫，冇乜事嚇。咁啊，俾呢個 file 俾佢咯。咁呢個 file 喺邊度咧？ Well, you can get the file from Blackboard. There's a file in Blackboard. So go to Blackboard. Under lesson 1, there's a T01 Excel data. So go to the 3 dots and click download. 呢個最快方法。你一入到去先 download 都得，不過你最快出邊就 download 啦。OK。咁你入咗入去有個好處係你睇下啲咩先啊嘛。咁我知㗎啦，咁我 download 啦，download 落嚟。我 download 過一次啊，見到喺度啦，我唔再 download 啦嚇，已經有一個喺度。OK。So right after you downloaded the file, it has a very long name like this one, T01 something something something. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it and call it. I'm going to rename it to I pasted the wrong file, sorry. That's a Word file. Okay. It should be what? It should be Excel. This one. It should be this one. I'm going to rename it to data CSV. Now I have data CSV. Actually, I can open it to see what it is like. Okay, I just double click and open it. It has 10 little rows. 10 little rows. You know, this is exactly the same file we saw in the slides. 得唔得？開到呢個。 Now there are no missing data, okay? And then let's try to follow the instructions. The word file. Yes, the word file. So let's try to run it again. Now we have the file. Let's run it. No problem. 俾個 number 你啦。其實你見到135咧，之中咧出過事㗎啦，即係唔係順，同係唔順序落咧都有少少問題嘅，唔順序落都有少少問題嚇，不過都唔係太大問題啊。如果你走翻上邊再 run 咧，竟然上面出現個6添嚇，即係咁都得嘅可以啊，冇乜所謂。不過記住，當你搞掂成身汗，你搞唔到一件事之後咧，記住成件嘢 restart 一次 ，run 一次，等啲 number 順序晒先。咁樣 save 翻嚟嘅嘢咧，先至真正係 OK 嘅。有陣時你發覺咧，我搞到身都搞掂晒 ，save 咗之後會唔 work 咧，就因為你冇 restart 一次啊。嗱，至於點解咧，我呢度好難解釋，即係你自己試過你就知啦嚇。OK，let's follow instructions. Now, let's do something extra. Before we do the x and the y, let's do a ds.head. ds.head 即係望一望個頭啊，睇個頭係咩？啊，係冇靚仔，好靚仔啦，係嘛 ？The numbers on your left-hand side are called the indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 ，OK indexes. The names on the top are called the headers. The country, age, salary, purchase. 嗱，盡量我唔叫佢 label 啊，即係你可以玩 label 就係 label 第二個意思，我哋唔叫 label。咁呢個係 header，OK， 或者叫 column header， 呢個 index。OK。Now let's do this x equals to dataset iloc something. If you recall, in the video we use real numbers. Now let's do this. Let's do x equals to. Now let's type it as it is, okay, from the Word file. And I guarantee that I will get an error. I guarantee that I will get an error. Okay, and then you'll be wondering, Adam, what are you doing here? It doesn't make any sense to me, right? Okay, no problem. Let's try to run it. I get an error. Why name error? Dataset is not defined. 有冇人話俾我知我點樣去改 fix 呢個 error 咧？嚇？應該改做 DS 冇錯，嗰個 DS， 因為我冇 define 到佢啊嘛，我從來冇 define 個 DS， 因為我叫 DS 啊嘛，呢度叫 DS， 你下邊就叫 DS 嚇。我上邊呢度叫 dataset， 下邊叫 dataset， sorry 上邊嚇。呢度 read 入嚟嗰陣，我叫做 dataset， 咁下邊叫 dataset 得唔得？啊，咁呢好簡單嘅，但係呢好容易犯嘅錯誤啊。嗱，其中一個最容易犯嘅錯誤咧就係咩咧？就係可能喺呢度咧，即係甚至乎嗱，我做一樣嘢係唔應該做，不過你可以咁做噶。你我漏咗喎，咁可能你中間做咗其他嘢啊嘛，死啊！呢個我唔記得 define 嘅，我 fix 咗唔得咯。嗱，我而家 define 一個叫 dataset， 我喺呢度行，咁咪得咯，係嘛？咁我上嚟呢度行，咁呢個會唔會成功啊？你估得唔得？你試行下佢，係得嘅喎。但係咁咪出事啊？點解？因為你將你喺呢度 define 咗啊嘛，到你 save 咗再行嘅時候咧，就順下去咧，呢行就死嘅。點解你 save 之前一定要 reset 晒嗰個嘢咧？就係好容易 miss 呢啲㗎。你帶咗好耐好辛苦，搞掂咗啦，真係行咗啦，係咪？呢個次序錯咗，次序錯咗，記住啊！而家你唔明唔緊要，總之你 save 之前咧，一定要 restart 過去，咁你先肯定你個 version 係正嘅。咁你乖乖地唔好咁衰啦，係嘛？即係仲叫 DS， 即係咁唔好咁改啦，呢度咪叫 DS 咪得咯。咁就得啦 ，OK。咁就最簡單啦。我頭先係即係只係示範一下可能會發生嘅問題啫嚇，即係唔代表你要做嚇，得唔得？咁上面點講就點講啦。好啦，跟住 print 咗 x 睇睇咯喎，就咁打 x 得㗎啦嚇，唔使打 print 㗎嚇。 得唔得 ？array 嗱呢個時候咧，你見到 data 咧同上面基本上一模一樣嘅，係咪10行啊？係10行啊！你 Adam 上冇10行，得5行啊！因為 head 咧係 by default 俾5行去睇啫。你話打譬如200行都得㗎。我相信299時間啦嚇。佢盡量俾佢唔夠咪俾盡你咪10行咯。有幾多俾幾多？你唔打你俾5行你睇得唔得 ？OK 嗱呢度10行，下邊又係10行，咪一樣先，一模一樣。唔同嘅地方係乜嘢咧？上邊係一個 pandas 嘅 data frame。所以好多時咧，佢哋叫 DF 嘅，佢哋唔會叫 dataset，又唔會叫 DS。好多時睇啲 program 咧，人人都 DF 乜 DF 乜嘅，其實係 data frame 啦。好啦，咁點解你要拎走嗰啲 label 咧？嗱，sorry，拎走啲 header 咧，因為我哋想個 program 行得快易做嘢啊，嗰啲嘢阻住我哋嘅。咁呢個有個名，大家記唔記得叫咩名啊？呢個叫做 features matrix。features matrix。就呢大嚿嘢啦 ，features matrix 就除咗個 label 嗰個 vector 之外，得唔得 ？OK， 跟住又再行咯喎，而家 y 等於 dataset.iloc something。嗱，咁可能你會問 Adam， 我仲係唔明啊，你搞乜嘢啊？即係我睇唔明呢個咩嚟嘅啫。其實好簡單啫，我打個 remark 喺度。其實咁樣嘅，你開頭咧。第一堆嘢咧就係話我要咩嘅，要邊幾行，後邊嗰堆嘢就係話要邊啲 columns 得唔得？如果咁樣咧，即係寫個咁嘅 remark 俾自己咧，咁會清晰。Adam 我仲係唔明啊！咁 OK 冇問題啦，我哋由第0行開始得唔得？第0行呢度0啊嘛係咪？我哋攞到第9行得唔得？但係攞第9行咧，你用 iloc 咧就要去到10嘅，得唔得？到10，我放假放到星期2，放到星期2啊？咁我星期2喺咪度啊？唔知，即係視乎大家個慣例點啊？你呢個星期6揾唔到我啦，放假放到星期2啊？阿 Adam 啊，咁你星期2呢啲喺唔喺度啊？你有冇講清楚少少啊？咁如果好人嘅話 ，I'll be on leave up to and including next Tuesday 咁就清楚啦，係咪？但係可惜呢個就唔係咁清楚啊。總之呢個咧就係 exclude 嘅。So I say, I want to start from row 0 up to but not including row 10，即係呢度咯嚇。嗱，如果你唔信咯，冇理由 Adam， 我唔信你，我打9，冇理由嘅。OK， 試下咯，係咪試下咯 ？OK，let's try it，let's try it and run it，and then let's print it。嗱，睇住咯喎，最尾而家呢個 France 37什麼什麼啊，我而家 run 佢。變咗 Germany 50喎，係咪？係少咗行啦。因為0 and 9啊嘛，0 and 9嘅 exclude 9就係個 Germany 咯，得唔得？咁有啲好聰明嘅人咧，就唔係我啦，係咪？好聰明就話咁樣好煩啫。如果下次有12行點、13行點，我咪成日改 number。好聰明嘅人就話唔使咁嘅，你唔好講咪得咯。最簡單你唔好講，我自己就全部啦，得唔得？即係槍手懶嘅方法都係最好嘅，懶嘅方法即係最 flexible。column 一樣道理啦，如果唔使講你都知啦，係嘛？如果唔使講，呢度咧就係話我要晒基院睇先呢度。係冇錯，我要晒所有嘅 columns。嗱，你會估啦，應該咧就係、如果咁樣係咪所有 column 先？咁冇問題啊，係咪？咁冇問題，所有 columns。但係話 feature matrix 咧係唔要最尾嗰個 label 啊嘛？點樣 exclude 最尾個 label 咧？我都講到攰啦，我揾個助教講講好唔好啊？揾個助教嚟講講，講完就先個 break 啊。好，助教唔該。請助教出嚟。呢個助教咧就係佢係嚟自 actually is a interesting YouTube channel. It's called Socratica. Socratica. Okay. Which one? Yes, this one. Socratica. Okay. It has a lot of interesting videos. Okay, on Python.
Our world. Our world. is changing. We're not alone anymore. We work with a new intelligence. We have the technology. Machines work faster than we do. They don't sleep. They don't make mistakes. I can talk to machines. I tell them what to do. I speak their language. I code.
That's you people, you code, okay? You speak their language, which is Python, and R, and C.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good.
Now, this is just an intro.
Hello, world. Python is a clean and powerful
It has many videos. I think it's 50 videos. Okay, of course, you can watch most of them on your own if you're interested. Okay, you find that this lady interesting. I found her very, very entertaining. Let's look at only one video, which is video 14.
Order matters. And in Python, lists make it easy to work with ordered data. Lists are a built-in data structure for storing and accessing objects which belong in a specific sequence. We will now learn how to create and use lists, and we will do so in a linear and orderly fashion. There are two ways to create a list. One way is to use the list constructor, but a simpler and more common way is to use brackets. When creating a list, you can also pre-populate it with values. For example, let's create a list with the first few prime numbers. You can always add values later by using the append method, which allows you to add new values to the end of the list. Let's append the next two prime numbers, 17 and 19. If you display the list, you will see it contains the new values. Notice how lists preserve the order of the data. This is different from sets. In sets, the order is not important. In lists, order is everything. You do not have to view the entire list. If you want to see a specific value, you can access it by its index. In computer science, you start counting with 0, not 1. So the elements in our list primes are indexed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. To view the first item, you type the name of the list and the index in brackets. The first item is 2. The second item has index 1, and the second item is 3, and so on. Notice how the indices increase by 1 as you go from left to right, and they decrease by 1 when you go from right to left. When you get to the beginning, the index is 0. If you decrease the index once more, you get -1. Here, Python wraps back around to the end of the list. So the last item is -1. The next to last is -2, and so on. This is convenient when you want to look at the values at the end of a list. The last item is 19. The next to last prime is 17. And we reach the beginning of the list with index -8. Be careful, you can only wrap around once. If you try to find the value of index -9, you get an index error. Another way to access values in a list is by slicing. This lets you retrieve a range of values from your list. We will continue to use our list of primes. To slice this list, type the name of the list, bracket, a starting index, a colon, a stopping index, then a closing bracket. The result is a sublist that starts at index 2 and continues until it reaches index 5. Be careful. Slicing includes the value at the starting index, but excludes the stopping index. The beginning value is included, the ending value is not. One more slice. This will start at the beginning, which is index 0, and continue to index 6, which is 17. It will not include the final number, so this slice includes the primes from 2 through 13. Lists can contain more than prime numbers. They can contain integers, booleans, strings, floats, and even other lists. Many languages require lists to contain values of the same type, but not Python. With Python, you are free to insert multiple data types in the same list. Lists can also contain duplicate values. Here is another way lists are different from sets. For example, suppose you want to record the numbers you roll on a pair of dice. Pretend you roll a 4, 7, 2, 7, 12, 4, and 7. If you look at the list, all the values are there, even the repeated rolls. You can also combine lists. To see how, create two separate lists, a list of numbers and a list of letters. To combine these two lists into a single list, use the plus sign. Numbers plus letters.
Okay, you may expect 1 plus A and 2 plus B, right? But no, they just concatenate these two lists.
Equals 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. But order matters. If you reverse this and compute letters plus numbers, you get A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Combining lists is called concatenation. Observe, the list of numbers and the list of letters are unchanged. There are many other methods for working with lists. To see them all, pass any list to the directory function. To learn how to use one of these methods, use the help function. For example, there is a method for reversing a list. The help text gives full details on what it does and how to use it.
Whenever you have a variable and you're not quite sure what methods can I use on this variable, you do a dir and then the name of the variable, and that tells you all the methods that you can use on this variable.
Lists start at 0 and end. They end precisely when you are finished. You can slice them. You can concatenate them. You can reverse them. You can even clear them. If I were to make a list of all the uses of lists, I would have a very, very long list.
Okay, I'm not sure about you, but I find watching this, I enjoy her kind of humor. So now you know, okay, why we have negative numbers, why we use negative numbers. Okay, so 簡單啲講咧，就好似我哋中國人咁啦，即係你屋企有有幾多個細路啊？6、7個啦，最細嗰個第幾個啊？最細第6啊，第7，即係拉仔，拉就只係最細嗰個啦，簡單好多係嘛？咁呢個負1就咁嘅意思啦。咁有負2啦，負2即係尾二啊，負1就最尾。Okay, anyway, like I said before, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll do more exercise and then we'll continue with the slides.